Welcome back in, everybody. It is time to wrap up year 2 on the Mega Debt to Mega Farm Playthrough Challenge. We've actually done quite a bit of work since I had you guys in last. We've harvested our oat field. We've harvested and sold off some silage. We planted grass in the fields and harvested those as well. So we've done that. We sold that silage off, and we're about to go sell off the last of our crop, which is the oats that we harvested back in August. So going to bring you guys in and bring you guys along for that, and then we'll wrap up year 2. We'll talk some financials, and we'll get ready to move into year 3. So hope you guys enjoy. All right, we just dropped the flatbed. Now we're going to pick up the grain trailer. We're going to go sell some oats. And then we're going to spend some money. Gonna spend the investors' capital gains. Wouldn't want them to be taxed too heavily on that. All right, here we go. Let's go sell some oats. There we go. Let's get this on the right side here where we can see what we're doing. If I remember right, that's the fill side. Alright, there we go. $551,968 is what we got to go sell. Well, let's just see. It's going to take us a few trips. Going to take us just over 6 trips. So, wow. More than I thought. That's all right. That's all right. Yep, going to sell some oats. Then we're going to spend some money. Then we're going to talk some finances. So, all right, man. Let's go. Come on. Good Lord, it takes this thing a long time to fill up. Luckily, the farmer's market where we're selling the oat. Well, you know what? Before I start lying to you guys, better see where we're selling the oats. Because we want to make sure we sell it at the best place. So we got oats. 540,000. Why was I expecting to make somewhere closer to 600,000 on that? It is January, so we're getting the max price. Well, it says my max price is in January. Why am I not getting the max price? Hell, I'm getting $40 per 1,000 liters less than the max price. That ain't no good. Oh, where are my oats? 400. Oh, because I just filled the truck up with 87,000 liters. Oh, it took me so long to sell the dadgum. Oh, dadgum. All right, let's drive. We're gonna lose about 12 grand to sell it at a closer place, but we're talking less than half of the distance. So less than half the time, and time is money. So. Anyway, we're going to sell some oats here. We're going to talk some finance. Actually, we're going to sell some oats. Then we're going to spend some money. Then we're going to sell some oats. Then we're going to move on to February. Then we're going to spend some money. We're going to check and see if our silage is ready to go in February. If the silage is ready to go, we're going to sell the silage, and then we're going to spend a crap ton of money. But anyway, I'm going to rock along. I'm just going to zip along, fast forward here, and get these oats sold, and then I'll catch back up with you guys after they're sold. Good morning, everybody. It is February, and it looks like it is snowing. Hope we can get out of the dadgum house. Ah, come on. Looks like, oh, it is snowing. is February. You guys can see we have just over $2 million in the bank. So we had a really good sell on our oats. Got a little over $600,000 for those. And in addition, and I'm going to take you over here and show you a little bit of what I've done. I made a minor change on the farm here. So I'll show you guys that, and then we'll go spend some money because frankly, we don't want to show this much profit. So if you guys remember, we closed out year one with just a little over $300,000 in the bank. Which means as it stands right now, we'd show $1.7 million, and we'd have to pay half of that to our investors. And I got to be honest with you, I don't really want to pay $850,000 to my investors. You know, I'd rather spend that $850,000 on the farm. So first thing, and you can see this is empty because I haven't moved anything over here, but this is our new consumable shed. So I made a decision that I didn't like the realism I was getting from the auto load silos. You know, you pull up to it, you hit a button, it loads. So I have decided that we are going to transport our seed, fertilizer, lime, and herbicide now. So this is our storage shed. It holds 400 pallets, which we won't need nearly that. So a couple of reasons I did that. One, like I said, it's more realism, and that's what I'm looking for in that. Secondly, the silos that I had were the autofill silos, meaning I just walked up to the trigger and clicked a button and filled the silo up. But for me, I was having difficulty deciding how much to buy, so typically I just filled them up. Well, what that does is that puts all of my to fill those silos up is enough consumables to last several in-game years. So all of my consumable costs was going into 1 year. I'm gonna move this tractor out of the farmyard here. All my consumable costs was going into 1 year. So what I'm doing with this is, or what I'm doing with this change is, I understand why these things move around like that. I will tell you though, that's just one of the issues with that John Deere seeder. That mod moves when the game is not active. So you know what? It's a minor irritation I'm willing to live with. So let's talk about what we're going to do on the farm. So like I said, we got $2 million to spend. We do want to show a little profit, so I'm probably going to spend about $1.5 million of that, somewhere in there, and make some upgrades on the farm. So we'll kind of talk through. Actually, not necessarily everything is going to be an upgrade on the farm. So I'll tell you, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump into the map and we are going to buy Farmland 54. It's $804,000. We'll jump in here and visit it before we do it. It is just a farmland. You guys can see it's gravel. This is one of the plots on this map that is meant to build a farm. It is a sizable farmyard. What did it say it was? It's about the size of our farmyard, about 33 acres. I think that's almost exactly what ours is. Not quite the same decimal. Yeah, 33.25 is what we're at, and that's 33.13. So pretty much the same size farmyard we've got right now. So we're going to go ahead and buy this for $800,000. And the reason being, I think I told you guys that, I was starting to think, hey, man, this challenge is just going to be too easy with the amount of money we're making. And frankly, the way we're rocking through silage, we can print money. Incidentally, our silage is ready to sell, but I'm not going to sell it right now. And I'll talk through that a little bit as to why. Well, basically, I'll tell you right now as to why. We got about $1.2 million. We've got $1.8 million. $1.9 million worth of silage. So if I sell that now, I got to spend it now, because obviously that would be all profit, and I don't want to show that kind of profit. So I'm going to keep that in the bale shed, and we'll sell it down the road. So the thing about it is, silage prices don't really fluctuate that much, a few dollars. So no real harm in not selling that. So what I'm thinking with this farm is, this is an investment. So I'm making an $800,000 investment in our farm. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to bring our plow up here. We're going to plow this, and we're going to farm it. But we are not going to hold on to this field long term. I am going to plant it. And I don't know what I'm going to plant it with. Probably I'll plant it with grass. Um, because I'm thinking through some other things. I don't know if I'm going to do that now, or if I'm going to do that in year 3. But like I said, this is an investment. So, and what I mean by that is, um, obviously I had to pay 50% of my profits to my investors, and there aren't there are only a handful of ways to hold on to. Well, you can't hold on to cash because cash is profit, and you got to pay that out. So you've got to record it as an expense. So that land purchase gets recorded as an expense, but that land stays the same in value. So when I sell it, I get back exactly what I paid for it. So what that means is I can hold on to that land until I get ready to. And my plan is I'll buy these smaller pieces of land because those are the ones I can afford in small chunks. So this one's another $660,000. I bought the Field 54 because it's very close to us. This is just over $1 million. We can certainly afford that. But once I buy several of those, basically then I'm that's kind of like stockpiling gold. Um, because that's just money in my pocket in the form of land. So I record as an expense, which lessens my profit, which lessens the amount I pay to my investors. And then when I get ready to buy more fields, I can sell those properties, put them with whatever year's profits that I have if I have enough, and buy a bigger piece of land. And that bigger piece of land again. So you have to do that in the same year because when you sell that land, it's income. So you've got to record the income and the expense in the same year. Otherwise, you're going to take a huge profit in one year and a huge loss in the next year. And we don't want to do that. So that's the plan for there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that land. So I'm thinking through some things, and I'm going to keep thinking through it and decide what I want to do. That's going to be for year 3. So a couple of other things we're going to do is I told you guys I do like grass work, and I do like grass work. But for the amount of grass we're harvesting, the MacDon is just not going to get it done. It's just too small and it's too slow. So I'm thinking I'm going to go to a forage harvester. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to simulate a little bit. One, because the forest harvester is extremely expensive. So I could just buy another MacDon and run 2 of them. The MacDon would cost me about $200,000 to buy the tractor unit and the swathing header from mowing. It cost me about $200,000. But the MacDon is 12 meters wide, and it obviously cuts a 12-meter swath, which means the baler's got to come behind it and pick up all of those swaths. So while putting a second MacDon to work for me would help with the time it takes to mow the field, the really time-consuming part of this is baling the field, because the baler has to operate slowly. And you guys know I'm using that round baler that also wraps, and I like that baler a lot. It's for a baler, it's fast. The problem I found is that I can't run it more than about 16 miles an hour because it leaves grass behind. And even running it at 16 miles an hour, and I was watching it really closely in this last grass harvest because it was really bothering me. And you know what? This is just something for me. It's a pet peeve of mine. I can't get past it, so I'm going to do something about it. But you guys can see, so these little piles here, those are left behind by the harvester, or by the baler. I drove the baler around all this at roughly 16 miles an hour, and this is what gets left behind. And what I figured out is every time it moves a bale out of the main chamber into the wrapping piece of it, it's like it bumps the pickup bumps, and it skips a swath, like it skips a little pile like this. And you can see these little piles are everywhere, and that just bothers me. So and I think I said at the beginning of the series, and if I didn't, I'll say it now. I don't like round balers. Now, I did go with this round baler in this series because I saw it in another video, and I thought, hey, man, that's cool. So the reason I don't like round balers is because they stop to unload the bale. So this one I thought, cool. It doesn't stop to unload the bale, man. That basically is a round baler functioning like a square baler. That's awesome. And I get the benefit of it wrapping the bales at the same time. But it skips those little piles, and that just bugs me. Frankly, if I ran the baler back over that field and picked all those little piles up, in fact, I did it once on the small field, and I picked up an additional 2 bales, which means for all of these fields like this, I'm probably leaving 8 to 10 bales on the field, if not more. And 10 bales of silage is about $30,000. So, that's costing you harvest 3 times a year, and that's costing you $100,000 a year to run this baler. We're making money hand over fist with silage, so it's not that big a deal. But anyway, I'm going to upgrade that. I'm not going to upgrade it. I'm going to change it out. I'm going to get rid of the round baler. I'm going to go to a square baler, which means I will have to wrap bales. So I'm going to have a square baler and a bale wrapper. That just is what it is. So I'm okay with that. I can set up a worker to do the bale wrapping. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. The other thing we're going to do is, in fact, this is the first thing we're going to do. We're going to do it right now. We're going to buy another harvester. We are going to buy another harvester because it just takes too long to harvest these fields. So yeah, one harvester just takes too long to harvest the fields. So, and I just realized I started rambling. I got off on the tangent about the baler and forgot to finish my story on the forage harvester. So with the 1.2 million we got left, obviously I don't have enough money to buy a combine harvester and a forage harvester. So I'm going to buy one now, and I'm going to buy one. I'm going to buy one in year 3. So actually, I'm going to buy the forage harvester now because right now I don't need the combine harvester because all I got planted in the fields is grass. So, and I'm not sure how I'm going to rotate that. So, we're going to buy this lizard forage harvester. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to combinations. We're going to get the mower header. There's that. Pick that up. Pick that up. Got it. Get out of here. All right. All right, we'll get this thing hooked up and get it pointed back toward the farm. And so I have decided I'm going to try to get one more cut off of this field off these fields for grass in March. I don't think it'll be fully mature. It doesn't grow as much over the winter as it does across the summer, but I can get a small cut off of it, and that's just going to yield us more silage. And then that's what I will, out of that silage, those two loads of silage will be close to $3 million probably. So we'll buy some more equipment out of that, but we'll get this guy headed back. I'm going to let the worker drive him back. I'm going to take you guys over to the farm and show you something that I upgraded last year that I did off camera and I haven't told you guys about. If I can find it. Oh, it's over here on this side. You guys have probably noticed I built this covered parking area over here. So you guys know I bought field 57 right there, just past the bales last year. It was planted with peas already when I bought it, and I decided to go ahead and use a mod that I have and harvest the peas with my harvester. I thought at the time that was being really cheaty, but I was just doing it because that's what that field had in it. And then I made a truckload of money off that field, and I thought, man, it would be great if I could plant peas on the regular. So I went and did some research, and it turns out that's not a cheat mod. So in real life, you can harvest peas and green beans with a harvester if it's configured to harvest peas and green beans. Now, you can't use the same harvester that you use for your grain because it has to be configured for peas and green beans. And once it's configured for peas and green beans, it won't pick up grain. So anyway, I present to you guys a brand spanking new harvester. Again, I've had this for a bit, that I bought last year. A brand spanking new harvester configured to harvest peas. So it's got a bit more capacity. It's got a huge header on it, configured to harvest the peas. Now there is a caveat to that. You can harvest dry peas. You can't harvest wet peas with a combine harvester. And frankly, the only difference in what makes a dry pea or wet pea is what you intend to do with it after you harvest. They're the exact same crop when they're growing. It's just what you intend to do with it after you harvest it. So when you harvest it with a combine, it becomes dry peas. You can't can them, so they can't be turned into preserved peas or canned peas or anything like that. They got to be sold as dry peas, as grain. So that's what we're going to do. So here is our Case Axial Flow AF11 combine configured to harvest peas. This combine will only harvest peas. It won't be used to harvest grain because, again, you can't combine those. So, and the reason I did this, so this harvester cost me almost $700,000. And I went ahead and bought it last year because I had already done the pea harvest with the other combine. And I decided, with the amount of money I made off of those peas, it was nearly it was over $1.7 million that I made off of that pea harvest. I was like, I can't in good conscience do that for free. So basically what I've done is I've simulated, hey, I went and bought a modified harvester to harvest peas. Obviously I bought it after the fact, but it still cost me the same amount of money. It's still an expense in the same year. So there is that. So probably in year 3, we are going to upgrade. You know what? We may just do that now. Another thorn in my side has been the sprayer. This has been a good sprayer. It's just not very big. There is a much larger sprayer available with a much larger capacity, and we are just going to pull the trigger on that now. And the reason I'm going to pull the trigger on it now is because the grass fields need to be, we're going to sell this for 16 grand, which is nothing. The grass fields are going to need to be fertilized again, and they need to be fertilized again. They probably need to be fertilized again this month, but may not get there. But anyway, the grass fields get hurt, they get fertilized, they get sprayed with the liquid fertilizer. Everything gets sprayed with the herbicide when the weeds are growing. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to get into the sprayers here. Where are the sprayers? Up, sprayers, and we are going to purchase this maniac. 420 grand. We've got the money. I'm not going to worry about it. This will probably be the last thing I purchase. So I purchased the land. I purchased the forage harvester. The baler is going to be an offset because I'm going to sell the old baler. And I'm also going to sell the little red bale trailer because that thing does not hold very many square bales. But anyway, we're going to buy this AgriFac. We're going to upgrade it to 54 meters, which is huge. We probably, you know what? Unreal, Condor, and Deere. I don't want Unreal, so all right, we'll just leave it at the 400 horsepower. I don't know what 600 horsepower would do for us anyway. We don't run crop destruction, and frankly, I like the look of the wide tire, so that's what we're going to run. We'll up the speed limit on it, so it'll run at 21 miles an hour. We will. Whew, I got to be honest with you guys. I thought it held more fertilizer than that. Oh my. Whew. Yeah, no, we're not going to put that on it. I am running the cheese whiz. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, really, this $400 is the last I want to spend this year. Let me look at these other sprayers. Let me look at another sprayer. This is the only other self-propelled sprayer. How wide does it go? It only goes to 36 meters, which is not what I'm looking for. Is this one a... Man, why is that so much cheaper? I mean, the other one is the Juotca Flats mod, which basically it's modified because it's a little cheaty to run these big fields. But you know, I'm playing on this. Oh, that thing's a. I was thinking the spot spraying was gonna be cheaper. Gosh, I don't know that I can justify pulling the trigger on that. That is nuts. That's not very wide. What I'm looking for is a wide sprayer. I mean, I want a sprayer that's got some width on it. And 36 meters is not what I'm looking for. Frankly, I could go with this thing. How wide will it spray? It'll do 40 meters. I mean, it's not 54 meters. Man, thought I had this all figured out. Probably should have came in here and checked the prices on the damn thing before I pulled the trigger on that, huh? Before I decided to pull the trigger on that. Yeah, 33 meters is as wide as that one goes. We already looked at that one. Oh, this one's a Juotca. Yeah. Oh, so it goes to 40 meters for 20 grand. It'll go 21 miles an hour. It'll hold 26,000 liters. That's not terribly cheaty. Although, frankly, I don't have an issue with the capacity on the sprayer that I have. I haven't run out yet. I'm really just looking for something better on the width. What I got right now is 30 meters. Right, that's what this one is, 33 meters. As wide as that one goes. Sorry, guys, I'm really having to think through what I'm doing here. That's 40 meters. I mean, that'd give me 7 meters. So basically every 5 passes, I would eliminate 1 pass with the old, yeah. So basically that one does in 5 passes with the other one, or maybe it does in 4 passes with the other one does in 5, right? So 40 meters would be times 4 would be 160 meters, and 33 meters times 5 would be 165 meters. So yeah. And call that good. I am not going to add any of the precision farming stuff to it just yet. I can put that in the shop. I have the shop at the, I don't need a 40,000 liter capacity. I can put it in the shop at the farm, add all that stuff to it later. In year 3, when we got all that silage money, I'm not going to put any of that. $440,000 before I screw around and talk myself out of it again. I'm just going to buy it. So we're going to show about a $300,000 profit. We'll cover that in our financials this year, and talk through how much that's going to be. So, oh, there's the new forage harvester. There's the new sprayer. So let's get this guy headed toward the farm. How much is that? It's not a seeder. I keep calling it a seeder. It's a planter. It's $165,000. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know what the hell that is. If it puts those little white things on there, I don't know what those are. Light configurations. I do add a trailer hitch to it. GPS configuration, $167,000. So that would take me down to $400,000 and change. I'm just going to do it because there's no reason not to, and then pay all that out to the investors. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm going to get all this stuff back to the farm. I don't really have anything else I'm going to do in year 2. I'm going to get, like I said, I'm going to get all this stuff back to the farm. I'm going to pick up with you guys in year 3. We'll go through, when we close out year 2 here, I'll update the financials. I'll take you through the year 2 financials, see where we ended up. We're going to end up showing a profit of about $150,000. So we'll pay out $75,000 to our investors. They're making some money. The farm's showing a profit. They're going to be tickled pink because they're going to see that their investment is paying off, and they'll see in the forecasting that it's only going to get better. So, like I said, I'm gonna duck out of here for year two. I'm gonna catch back up with you guys in year three, and we'll kind of talk through some more plans for year three. Look at some more equipment purchases maybe, and then decide what we're going to do with that new field and get rocking on it. So, all right, everyone. Farming is done. Year two is in the books. We're going to take a quick look through our financials here, and then we'll move on to year three and get started with our plans on year three. And we got some big plans for year three. So we'll get this knocked out, and then we're going to get in the game and print some money. So year two had a decent year. New land purchases, 4.2, almost $4.3 million. New vehicles, just a little over $4 million, which obviously that's a lot, but we have upgraded our vehicle fleet significantly. Construction costs, again, we did do quite a bit of construction, so we had just about $742,000 in construction costs. Paid about $31,000 in wages, and I'm going to be honest, folks, that is going to increase. That's going to increase year to year to year. Missing finances expenses, I don't really know what that is. I probably should have just put that in the miscellaneous, but I left it in here anyway. It's $270,000. Those are just miscellaneous costs. Vehicle running costs, you guys can see, went up significantly, about $5,000 in year one to $26,000 in year two. So again, those are going to continue. Obviously, as our fleet grows, that's going to grow. Got our loan interest of $143,000 for year two. Obviously, that went up considerably because we took out that big $4 million loan. And those are just the interest payments. But anyway, loan interest was $143,000. Fuel costs, we didn't have any fuel costs in this one because our vehicles just aren't using that much fuel. And in year one, I put the placeable tank on the farm, so we just been filling vehicles up out of the placeable tank. So the $1,300 is what it costs to fill that tank up, and then we just been running on what's in the tank. So that'll probably go up some. Consumables, you see, we spent $1,900. So property maintenance, we had 200. 200, good Lord, $2,900. We did do some vehicle leasing for some different things. So we had $18,000 there. Seeds cost us $13,000 in year two, and fertilizer cost us $6,400 in year two. So income, we sold some vehicles for just a little over $1 million. We sold some buildings for $143,000. We sold bales for just over $1 million, $1,050,000, $2.6 million off of our harvest income. And I actually think the harvest income includes the grass silage, because I don't, oh, no, sorry, it does not. No, it does not. The harvest income is the peas that we sold, and the what else do we sell? Oats, and the oats. So miscellaneous expenses of $1.2 million. This is just kind of where I dump everything to make everything balance. I'll tell you guys, I'm using a mod in game. I forget what it's called. Let me jump over here and look at. I forget what it's called. It's some kind of transaction export. It's something to do with transactions. Anyway, at the end of every month, it exports all your financial transactions. As it turns out, that mod is hot garbage. I really struggled to get all this to balance with that mod. It just wasn't adding up, and I didn't record the financials out of the game every month because I had that mod, and I wasn't expecting to have to do that. So I'm going to have to go to manually. I'm going to have to switch to manually updating this sheet in game every month. So I'll probably put I'll put another tab in here for a month to month for monthly financials. That'll feed into the yearly tab. So anyway, and then we got our loan of $3.5 million, which we spent all of that and more. So total, we had had expenses of $9.6 million. We had income of $9.7 million. So we made a profit of $102,000 in year two, from a $4.6 million loss to a $102,000 profit. not bad. And obviously, you guys know we would have made a lot more money than that had we not made some major purchases at the end of the year. So we'll expect that trend to continue. So we paid out a dividend of $51,000. And I actually think I said in the video that I was expecting to make about $150,000, and I was, but I forgot about the loan payments. So the loan interest and the loan payment. So whenever you close out a month and move to the next month, that's when the finance system applies the loan payments. So the final cash balance I was looking at before I went from February to March was before my $48,000 in loan payments and loan interest came out. So anyway, paid out a dividend of $51,000. That means the farm got profited $51,000. So our ended our year one cash at $310,000. Ended our U2 cash at $361,000. Now, you guys, that's not what it's going to say in the game, because as soon as you roll over from February to March, my vehicle financing payments come out. So that was 31,000 out of the 361, which took us down even further. So our total balance once we get in the game is not going to be the 361. It's 330. Yeah, 335.52. So that's what we'll have in the game. So that's our financials. So that, like I said, we're starting the year out with $361,000. Don't you guys ignore these because they just calculate. I need to change those to not calculate if certain fields are zero, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So anyway, $102,000 profit, and we expect to continue on. Farm value increased a little bit, although I'll be honest with you, I haven't. I need to add. In fact, I need to go ahead and do that here. I'll just do that while you guys are watching. So, what field did I buy? I bought field 54. I bought field 54 for 804,408. Interesting. So I bought field 57 as well. So we're going to put field 54 here, 804,408. We're going to put field 57 here, and field 57 was a whopper $3.49 million, $34,9,200. Field 57, $3,490,200. That brings our land value to $8.5 million. Our total building value probably, let's see, we can. We can delete those. So let's delete those. We'll shift ourselves up. Then we've got, let's not do that. Let's just empty those cells. We'll move the green silo up. So all the stills calculate, and we'll delete that. Whoops. Our updated farm value. Oh, you know what? I'm going to have to go back and fix that because it updated the farm value from year 1 too, which we don't want to do. So I have to go back and fix that. Anyway, our farm value went up considerably. That's because of all the land we bought. You know, we bought $4 million worth of land this year, so increased our farm value significantly, as well as the new vehicles are going to probably impact that some. So our total price per share, $10,380, which is actually more than it sold for originally, which our investors will be very happy with. Sorry, ignore that. Come on, just give me back the other. So our investors will be very happy with that. So that's our year 2 financials, guys. We will kick the year off in year 3 with start with $361,000, but $31,000 in vehicle finance payments came out of that. So we got about $330,000 to kick the year off, although we do have almost $2 million in silage sitting in our bale storage. So that's it for year 2. That's a wrap. So I'll bring you guys back in, and we'll kick off year 3. Thank you for watching.